Yeah, Brandon, I got Gunner all done, put back together for you, so I wanted to do a walk around video for you and just do a full disclosure on where I'm at and let you know just exactly where I'm at and make sure everything's kosher. Came back from the frame shop today, and he ended up putting quite a bit of force on it to get the frame back into place. It had to come over 3/4 of an inch towards the driver's side, and it had to go vertically down another 3/4 of an inch on that driver's side. Then it also had to come over towards the driver's side about an inch. So he ended up using the 10-ton press on it, holding it in place and holding this passenger side in place, and then stretching down on that driver's side until he got it back into place. And then he actually had to do 2 or 3 pulls in the same area to get it to relax to where we wanted it to. After that was all said and done, I brought it back in, got the bumps put back on, the little bumpers for the body lift in the front. As you can see, this one's right about where it needs to be now. This center one under here for the grill, when I dropped it off at the frame shop, if I would have tried to put the bolt in, the bolt would have been almost 2 inches at a diagonal angle, and so that frame's squared up now, and as you can see, we're straight across with the oil pan and straight across with the back. This bumper here, so there you go, the lights in the way. That one's in a pretty good spot too. There are a couple of things that I couldn't get perfect that moved on me once it went to the frame shop and back. I could spend some more time with it and get these issues 100% perfect, but I don't think that's going to be money well spent, and honestly, I don't think you're going to have an issue with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you that. These body mounts over here on this side did walk back a little bit to where they were originally, so they're not perfectly 90 degrees. There's the front one, here's the middle one, the middle of the door, and the rear one is the worst of it. And then I lost a little bit of hood gappage. You can see over here on the driver's side, I got a pretty good gap up all the way around. Then when we get over here, the passenger side, I start losing that gap again, and this is kind of what it looked like when it came in, and I think a lot of this has to do with that original collision that was over here, because even the frame guy noticed that this stuff had been really manipulated up. See if I can get the light to work right. Up in here where the grill meets the fender and the inner fender and the outer fender, it's all kind of been mangled on before. It is sitting down on the hood bumps now where it's supposed to be, and the latches are perfect where we couldn't even get the hood latched before at all on the one side. That's nice and lined up. I did some adjustments under the cowl to get that grill back, so you've got a little bit of a variance passenger side gap. And then here's your driver's side gap. So there's a little bit bigger on the driver's side. But if I try to bring this back this way on this driver's side, what I'm going to end up with is even more of a gap here and even tighter of a gap here. And then I guess what I'm getting at is I'm just going to have to bust everything loose and start over on it. And for what we've got, I think we're got what we're after. So anyway, the rest of it's real straightforward, and everything was the same as it was. Got the roof rack adjusted, so you got a little bit of a gap on your quarter panel guard again. This all stuff looks all back where it's supposed to be. It did rain a week or so back, and I noticed when I moved it back into the shop that we had some water here on the driver's side floorboard, and I kind of thought that it maybe was from one of the collisions, so I went ahead and started working on it, and we had a little bit of messed up spot in the door jamb, and you're probably laughing at me right now because while I was fixing it, I noticed that these screws were ripped out of the door, so that's probably something you knew about. But anyway, I went ahead and took care of that, so hopefully you don't get any more water in there on the driver's side floorboard. This seal here bunches when you close the door. If you're working in with your fingers, I'm sure you know about it, it works fine. But that's another one of those things that this box